I got a little surprise a day early. My Pokemon Pitch Black booster box. Let's crack it open. All right, since this is a brand new set, and it's actually a day early, there's no prices or anything that makes sense. Any set that just comes out, the prices are way overinflated anyways. So I'm just going to ignore all that and let's see what we get in here. I've had some good luck of late. My last two booster boxes pulled an SIR out of each of them. Perfect order. I got a gold card in SIR. KS Rising, I got an SIR. Would love. Pull a Darkrai in here. I know he's in here. He's right here on the top. Looks like we have a Chandelure and a Zeraora. So let's just get right into it. No point messing around. I'll split these into roughly halves. You know what, let's do quarters to keep it interesting. So just eyeball this. 6. And so 36 packs in here, which is always awesome to open all 36 packs all at once. Let's get right into it. Now I like to keep at least one of each pack artwork in good condition. When I'm opening a booster box, just by chance, typically you get at least one good one. Try to be careful in the first few just in case, but I don't need to be too careful because of that. You know, I look for things like where it doesn't do this, pulls off the ink. This one's not bad because I'm putting them in binders and I would fold them. But let's put that off to the side for now and see what we got. I have not looked at any of the cards in this set, so I love to be pleasantly surprised by what's in here. So let's see. We'll start with a Bombardier and a Charger Bug, Mabostiff, Finizen, Banette, Thievul, Lampent, the reverse Bombardier, a reverse Toucannon, and we start with a double rare Rampardos EX. Should have got my sleeves ready. Put these off to the side. There's a guy have some right here. We count double rares as a hit. I don't like these starry pattern double rares, but Rampardos is a solid Pokemon. I like Rampardos. And we always love starting with a hit in a booster box like that. I didn't look at the pull rates or anything. Usually it's a bit too early to actually tell. Typically they don't come out for another week or so after a lot more product has been released. But I'm expecting the same pull rates as we've been getting for the past while. You know, 1 in 5 for double rares, 1 in 8 or 9 for IRs, 1 in 12 for ultra rares, and then much higher for SIRs and gold cards. Exact same card we started with last time, the Bombardier, the Nickit, Shuppet, Brion, Heatran, Tremendous Bomb, Relicanth. First reverse is another Nickit, Chi-Yu reverse, and we get an ultra rare, a Wailord EX. Take a look at this closer. Wailord can either look amazing or awful. I guess that's true of every Pokemon. This one's kind of in between. Ultra rares are hit or miss. I really love water type Pokemon cards, probably my favorite type of Pokemon card. So I always like blue cards. Centering's pretty bad on this if you care about that. I'm not grading, it's just for the binders, I don't really care. We love to see an early ultra rare though. A Pokemon that I don't mind in Wailord. Pretty good start. Alright, Chandelure pack here. I just got my hands on, or since I got my hands on, I just got in through the 30th celebration pre-order and got a bunch of stuff, so I'm looking forward to that. So having this arrive the day after getting that was pretty exciting. So lots of Pokemon stuff on the go here. We started with an Armor Fossil and a Type Null, Tropius, an underrated Pokemon in my opinion. Goldeen, looks pretty cool. Dark Bell, the Backtrack Badge. We have a Manectric. I like Manectric quite a bit. A reverse Relicanth, reverse Armarouge, and our first holo card, a Spiritomb. I've not checked how big this set is. It's 84 regular cards. I don't know how many secret cards there are. Let's see. We're already up to 97 on the Wailord, so at least 97, and that's not including SIRs yet, so a bit over 100. Hopefully not too much more. You know, I think like 80 to 120 is kind of the sweet spot in the modern era. These 200 card sets are kind of ridiculous, but I have been liking the Mega Evolution sets because they've been more contained that way. Alright, we have a Cranidos to go with our Rampardos. Volibee, Litwick, another Goldeen, Banette, Malamar, Rust Syndicate Grunt, Delmise Reverse, Backtrack Bag Reverse, Badge, sorry, and then so more special energies. We have the Shadowy Dark Energy here. The last few sets have all had special energies like this, and I've been liking them. I don't mind a special energy. Now, I'm expecting, because of the size of the set, that I'm going to have a lot of those and get sick of them. As long as we get one holo and one reverse holo of each, I'm happy. And my goal is to master set something like Pitch Black, and one booster box gets you a good chunk of the way to getting pretty much all the regular cards, and then a big chunk of the reverse holos, and hopefully a couple rare things. A set this size, one booster box is usually pretty good. I typically like to get a booster box and an ATB, but I was not able to get an ATB yet, at least not a Pokemon Center one, so I'll have to keep my eye out on the market for these. I'm expecting Pitch Black to be a little bit more expensive than Perfect Order and Chaos Rising. Darkrai is really popular. There's like some really incredible Darkrai cards out there, and I've seen the black one. I think it looks pretty good. I'll have to look closer. I was like just catching glimpses of it, but hopefully we pull it. Alright, Poltergeist, Palafism, Annihilate, Fossil Quarries, Reverse Bronzor, our first IR. We are hitting strong so far. We have a Fomantis. Pretty lame Pokemon, but a solid looking card. Like, I love when they go hard with the coloring and stuff. It feels very balanced with the pinks, purples, green. Good looking card. I expect this will be one of the cheaper ones, but these are the cards that I think are great to get as cheaper cards. If you go to a card show and see something like that, I bet you get it for under $10 after a couple weeks. Everything's inflated early going with a brand new set. Alright, then we have an Armor Rouge Holo. I feel like there's been a lot of Armor Rouges in the past 2 years, but he's alright. Not a bad Pokemon. Hey, what are we, 3 for 4 here? I'm actually counting. It's 3 for 5. Pretty good. Alright, another Poltergeist. Mastiff. Hiccupec. Electrike. Vikavolt. Gladian's Final Battle. Lots of trainer cards so far. Toucannon. Pretty cool Toucannon. I like that card. It looks very intense. We have the reverse Trumbeak to go with our Toucannon. Reverse Cranidos. And no hit here. We get a Holo Koraidon. Obviously lots of Koraidons because we just had Scarlet and Violet. This one's not a bad looking one. Alright. 50% success rates. Let's hope for an SIR in here and a bunch more IRs, and I'll be very happy. Alright, Volibee. Especially because a smaller set like this, you're getting tons of duplicates in the commons and uncommons. So it's really all about the upper end. Shuppet and a Mankey. Oh. We have a Yuka Mori, sorry, Mankey. Always cool to have Yuka Moris. I've got some great ones. Some of the OGs. Some of the mid-era ones, which are even rarer. This is just another cool one, Mankey. Kind of cool Pokemon. Looks good in clay form. Nice, definitely one to look out for. Hopefully get the reverse of that as well. Brion there, and a Seaking. Kind of weird to go from the style that the Goldeen is to this Seaking. I'll have to pull it out later, but Delmise. We have a Gwyn Trainer, Reverse Spiritome, the Reverse Voltaic Energy, so this is our second special energy, and it's the reverse, which is good. The reverses are going to be rarer than the holo rares, most likely. So that's good, and that's funny. Got the holo and the reverse holo in one pack. Not bad, we got those out of the way. I always like to look at the cards more closely after to see their general playability. I just play casually. But I like looking at that stuff after. You get a sense of why one company puts stuff in certain sets. Outside of printing, you know, Charizards and Pikachus and Gengars endlessly. So we have a Sizzlipede and a Jinx, a Wailmer to go with our Wailord, and that's a one of the yarn ones. Another cool like alternate style one, not just a drawing. And we have a Mandibuzz, Dark Bell, another Manectric. So lots of duplicates already, but like I said, expected. Jet, Reverse Vullaby, Reverse Brionne, and another double rare, and this one's better because it is a Mega double rare. The Megas get a much nicer texture than the non-Mega double rares with their star pattern. So I always like to see the Mega ones. The last few sets has been split like 4 and 5 kind of thing. Chandelure is one of the big dogs of this set. He's on the box, so kind of cool to get the double rare there. All right, this whole stack over here with the double rares. I'll go through all the hits again at the end. Hopefully, listening to buy an SIR gold card, but give us some time to enjoy them a bit more after we get through everything. All right, we have an Electrike, again a Litwick, Pikapek, Sizzlipede, a Slowbro, kind of cool looking Slowbro there. Very intense as a psychic card. Bronzong, also kind of intense but goofy at the same time. Gladeon's Final Battle, Reverse Jinx, Reverse Shuppet, and a Hollow Bastiodon. Okay, that's 1/4 of the way through, so we're on to the next 9 packs here, 9 sets. Lots of packs to go through. So far I felt pretty good about the set, my hits, and just the general artwork, so definitely excited to see what else is in here. Alright, we have a Flamantis. I think it was a perfect order that had like 4 Deoxys, which was just too many Deoxys. Another one of those Mankeys, and a Charcadet. I haven't seen too much of like different cards of the same Pokemon yet, so that's good. Inkay also looks cool. Palafin. Palafin's actually like a sneaky Pokemon that there's some really good cards of that are very cheap. Like the Dark Palafin that I bought was like $5. The IR would recommend. Backtrack Badge and another Bronzong, Reverse Fomantis, Reverse Poltergeist, and another Ultra Rare, the Mega Chandelure Ultra Rare. Alright, is this a pattern? I'm assuming there's an SIR Mega Chandelure, or at least Chandelure, so that would be sweet to get all of them. I don't know what it looks like if it's there. This is a pretty good looking Ultra Rare. Again, just like the double rares to Mega double rares, the Mega Ultra Rares are typically nicer than the regular Ultra Rares because they do this like mirror pattern and a lot more texture and colors going on. I don't know if that's a strict rule that they follow, but it's definitely a pattern I've been noticing. Pretty sweet card. All right. 2 Ultra Rares in 10-ish packs is way above the hit rate for Ultra Rares, so we'd love to see that. Now, Ultra Rares, despite their hit rarity, are often cheaper, except for, you know, the rare Pokemon, like the more sought-after Pokemon like Charizards and stuff. But we still love pulling cool ones like that. All right, we have a Mastiff and a Thanatos, Wailmer, Srubbin, Sinistcha. We have a Misty's Vitality, so Misty makes an appearance here. Lampent. We got the reverse of the Mankey. Cool. Wanted that. A reverse Tremendous Bomb and a Hollow Spiritomb. I think that's our second one. Right here. I have a cool little Mega Venusaur Pokemon Live backing there. Okay, we have a Bronzor. There's a Primeape to go with our Mankey, but not by Yukamori. Still, honestly, kind of cool artwork. Trumbeak. Whoops. And then another Grubbin, Gwyn, Heatran, Seaking. Those reverses the Sizzlipede. And the reverse Slowbro. And a Hollow Primarina. First, the Primarinas we pulled. Primarina's not one of my preferred Pokemon for sure. Card's not bad though. Well, that one opened weird. Got my stack of packages off to the side there to go through after. Alright, we have a Mandibuzz and a Jinx, Drillbur, Charcadet, Jet, Evil, Marshadow. They have the reverse Misty's Vitality. Wouldn't be surprised if people are looking for this card. Be like $1 or $2 kind of thing. As an uncommon. Reverse Skarmory. I love Gen 2, so seeing Skarmory is always cool. And a double rare Wailord EX. So we are hitting the like patterns here. 2 Wailords, 2 Chandelures. See what if that follows continuously. This one, you know, with the Wailord 3D rendering style is kind of goofy looking. But he's often like that. I didn't even show the pack art here, but with the Mega Excadrill. I played a fun little Excadrill deck back in the day, so I was, you know, you build nostalgia from playing quirky decks like that, like Heatmore, stuff like that. Alright, Centiskorch, another Skarmory, Popfield. There's an Antique Skull Fossil, and a Fossil Query, Sinistra, Tremendous Bone, the Reverse Primeape. Alright, we have another IR, the Delmies. Check out the holo after. Okay, interesting. It's a little dark for my liking, but it makes sense for the Pokemon. We also have a Banette in the background there, and a Shuppet. So anytime you have, is that a Sinistra in the back? Maybe it's hard to tell with this lighting. Anytime you have multiple Pokemon in a card, it's cool. So yeah, we like to see it. I expect this would be another approachable and achievable IR. Let's see, yeah. Put it here with my Fomantis. All right, and then the holo was a Silverleaf, which is the first time I think we've got that. So pretty balanced opening so far. Expectation is to have, you know, 3 ultra rares, 4-ish IRs, and then, you know, 1 in 5. Then you end up with like 6 or 7 double rares. And hopefully you beat the odds to get an SIR or a gold card, which are usually like 1 in thousands or hundreds and hundreds. Ultra rares, I think, are like 1 in 85 or something like that. But there's a big price differences between the best ultra rare or the best SIRs and the lowest SIRs. You know, like I pulled the Floette for Chaos Rising, and that card, you know, started out like $100 Canadian when I first pulled it, and now it's like $40-ish. I think with like Phantasmal Flames, I got a Sharpedo for $30 as an SIR. So just when there's really expensive cards in a set like that, you can often get the other SIRs for cheap. So we're really hoping for the Darkrai's. The reverse Manectric, reverse Bronzong, and our first holo Zarude. He's looking pretty scary there. Kind of like that card. That's freaking Zarude. Dark types are one of the cards that actually look pretty good with the reverse holo. Otherwise, the reverse holos are kind of not my favorite in this generation of cards. I've just mentioned that a few times, but that's all right. All right, we have a Drillbur, Bombardier, and Charger-Bugs. That's our first Charger-Bug. First Mabostiff, Relicanth, another Manectric, Rust Indicate Grunt, Pick a Peck. We have the reverse Shadowy Energy, so we have special energies covered at this point. And another double rare. The Mega Delphox EX. I had no idea that Delphox was going to be in this set. It's the first one I've seen in that line. It's kind of interesting with the greens and the fire type cards that they've been doing. I'm just used to Delphox being so much more red than the Mega Delphox. I think I like the Mega Chandelure slightly better, but it's still cool. Double rare. Like I said, I like the Mega Double Rares. You can usually buy them for $1 or $2, and I do that when I go to card shows. So, good way to just fill out sets. All right, this is the last pack of this half, and it is a Darkrai. Let's hope for the best here. We'll start with the Centiskorch, Primeape, Armor Fossil, Skarmory, we have the Banette, Malamar, Reverse Syndicate Grunt. First reverse is Antique Skull Fossil, and then a reverse Sea King, and another Hollow Koraidon. Alright, just in 18 packs, we've got 2 IRs, 2 Ultra Rares, and 4 Double Rares. That is right on the hit rate for the IRs and above hit rate for the others so far, which is pretty good. Hopefully it's not a lopsided booster box here, and that the next 18 goes similarly well. Pretty close to half. All right. To the Mega Excadrill pack. We start with a Finizen, the Armor Fossil. Type Null, Tropius, Toucanon, Vikavolt, Misty's Vitality, Reverse Grubbin, Reverse Litwick, and another Ultra Rare, Gladian's Final Battle. Sometimes trainer cards end up being pretty cool. Having like the character trainer cards, I do like. I still, I already forget, I think it was Perfect Aura, the Forced Vitality, actually ended up being one of my favorite pulls. It just looked really cool. We'll see how this one turns out. Gladian, I'm not like a super fan of Gladian by any means. He's fine. But an immediate Ultra Rare is great to see. So way above pull rates for Ultra Rares right now. That's 19 packs, and we've had 3. Assuming they're the same as they have been. I'd love for Pokemon to increase the pull rates, because that's really the only way you can combat all the sealed hoarding and scalping that's going on. Alright, we have Scrumbeak, Goldeen, Skull Fossil, Bronzor, Vikavolt, another Gladian's Final Battle, the regular one, Toucanon, Reverse Drillbur, Reverse Poplio, and a Hollow Chiyu. And this one might be my favorite so far. It's pretty intense. Chiyu, often a fire type, sometimes a water type, but a dark type card. Pretty interesting with the dark reds and like his fins and stuff. Pretty awesome looking. Probably my favorite holo so far. All right, next pack. Start with a Goldeen and a Nickets, Slowpoke, Shieldon, Palafin, another Gladion, Delmise, Reverse Palafin, Reverse Mandibuzz, and another Hollow Spiritomb. That one was kind of already open. Both sniffing around in my packs. Alright, we have a Poltergeist, Chargerbug, Nickets, Finizen, Darkspell, Manectric, Jet. First reverse is a Miraidon. I think that's the first time I've seen Miraidon. Makes sense, he's a rare. The reverse Centiskorch, and another Shadowy Energy. Alright, another Poltergeist, lots of those. Vullaby, Shuppet, another Mankey, Thievul, Lampent, Sinistra, the reverse Sinistra. Alright, this is now an interesting looking IR. You have the Primarina, which I mentioned the Hollow Rare looked pretty good. This is kind of interesting water type, because there's more browns in it than you typically see in a water type. Kind of like that. Centering again, not great. Pretty much all my pulls have been like that. Just Pokemon Center trying to print stuff quickly. Alright, sweet. Another IR, and one that is pretty solid. And then we got the Hollow Miraidon to go with it, which is a Hollow that we hadn't pulled yet, except for the reverse Hollow, but there we go. There's usually one holo rare that I pull like 6 of in a box, just because that's how she goes, but we'll see which one that's going to be. It's been pretty balanced so far. Alright, we have a Mankey, Type Null, Mabostis, Electric, Pallet, Backtrack Badge, Bronzong, Reverse Mankey again, so lots of those. Reverse Thievul, and another Holo Armarouge. 3 packs in this quarter. Start with the Brionne, Electric, Flipwick, Pick-a-Peck, Slowbro, Malamar, Annihilate. Stacks over here. First reverse is a Fenizin, and then the Vigavolt reverse, and another double rare is another one of the Megas. We got Mega Slowbro EX. It's interesting to see him in this set. So we've got 3 of the Mega double rares and 2 of the non-Megas, so definitely my preferred balancing there to get more of the Megas. This was not bad. I think the Chandelure does better with his darkness than the Psychic. I mean, I guess part of it is the color choices they chose with the flames here. There's a lot more yellow on the Slowbro. I like the blues and purples more, for sure. This Psychic type. Still solid. Still solid. Put that in our double rare stack over here. So that's 5 double rares now. This is pretty close to the pace we're on, so we're right on pace for that. Okay. Pretty close to the pace for the rares, and above pace for the ultra rares. Alright, Slowpoke, Secret Pack, Tropius, Sizzlipede, Gwyn, Heatran, Seaking. First reverse is a Type Null, and then a Armor Fossil, and another double rare, Morpeko EX. Now that I think about it, I also saw that there was an SIR Morpeko, so that would be an interesting pull as well. I think he was pretty cool looking. I really like the purple and the black here. Looks solid. Starry pattern less solid, but 6 double rares there, and we're on the last pack of this quarter, so we have 10 packs left. Still some opportunity to pull some feet, but pretty good box so far. We have a Sizzlipede, Mastiff, Cranidos, Whalmer, Marshadow, Jets, Gwyn, Dark Bell reverse, Marshadow reverse, and another Holo Zarude. Okay, last little 9 set here. If we're not getting like an SIR or gold card, then I would hope for at least 5 IR to kind of balance that out. But, you know, the odds are the odds. I had a bad streak for, you know, a year and then a good streak for the last few months, so I'm hoping the good streak continues. We got the Vullaby, Shieldon, Brionne, Drillbur, Fossil Quarry, Sinishka, Tremendous Bomb, Silver the Reverse, the Reverse Goldeen, and a Holo Bastiodon. Not sure if I pulled that one yet, but just another Holo. Alright, we have a Grubbin, Mandibuzz, Jinx, Drillbur, Seaking, Dark Bell, Banette, Charcadet reverse, going quick there, but with a Mabosstiff reverse, and another Holo Chi-Yu. Favorite Holo, but I don't really want 2 of them. One bit of a dry spell here, a couple double rares. I guess we got a Furion not too long ago, but let's hope for some more. Another Mastiff, Shuffit, Grubbin, Popplio, Relicanth, Manectric, Rust Syndicate Grunt, Reverse Gladiol's Final Battle. Alright. Ooh. Now we're talking. This is an IR that I'm on board with. Definitely a Manectric fan. I think he's cool. I like most dog type Pokemon. Arcanine is my favorite Pokemon, so it kind of bleeds from that. Manectric being an electric dog. I think he looks pretty sweet here. Alright. So we hit our 4th IR. And his cone head is kind of dumb, but I find that funny, so that's why I like it. And then we got a Holo Voltaic Energy. We've hit pretty much, what do we have, 6? A little bit off the double rares, but we've hit the pull rates of everything else, and we have 6 cards left, or 6 packs left, sorry. Let's hope for a little bit more to beat the rates. And buying sealed Pokemon cards are expensive these days. I did get this from Pokemon Center. It's the only place I buy sealed stuff from. And even that's more expensive than it should be, in my opinion. Especially here in Canada. So after this, I'll probably, unless I find some good deals, I'll mostly be getting singles. But we just hope to save some money by pulling some of the more expensive cards, basically. Fomantis, the Inkay, Bronzong, Relicanth, Backtrack Bag, Reverse Tropius, Reverse Jet, and another Hollow Rezarude. So I think that's the first one to hit 3, but I got to go back to check. He just stands out a lot because of his crazy face. Alright, Mandibuzz, Litwick, Bombardier, Wailmer, Toucannon, Vikavolt, Misty's Vitality. First reverse is a Shieldon. Second is a Banette. And then another Hollow Crydon. That's at least 3 of those. 4 packs to go. Fingers crossed, but our time is running short here. Okay, we have a Popsio, Centiskorch, Primates, Armor Fossil, Delmies, Rust Syndicate Grunt, Heatran. First reverse is Electrike, then the reverse Inkay, and another double rare, the Mega Zeraora. How do we pronounce that? We have a lot of Mega double rares. This is the 4th one, so we're probably pretty close to having all of them. There might be one more. Making assumptions on the balance here. So it's interesting, having the green and pink with the electric type. All the Megas have been like really dark. I guess maybe not the Slowbro, but you know, not bad. Okay, 3 packs left. Hoping for something in these stacks or this extra stack that I have nothing in. A little spoiled by the public order box. I got to pull the gold card out in SIR. Alright. Okay, but Jinx. Is that our first Jinx? All this way. Might be. Cranidos, Fomantis, Elephant, Ledion's Final Battle, Delmies. First reverse is a Bombardier. Had lots of those. Toucan reverse. Another ultra rare. Okay, we seeded hits for sure. And this one, no way this one's going to be worth a whole lot. I don't know about the playability, but Dark Bell's like kind of basic. It's just a Dark Bell. So 2 trainer and 2 non-trainer ultra rares. I guess we would call those ones Pokemon ultra rares. 2 packs left. You know, opening one pack shouldn't influence another, but I feel like there's probably not going to be much more in here. Skarmory, Trumbeak, Goldeen, Skull Fossil, Lampith, Fossil Quarry, Toucannon. We have the Relicanth, the Reverse Charger Bug, and another Armarouge. Kind of balancing out the hollow rare duplicates. I think that's the 3rd Armarouge. Alright, last pack, and with no choice, we just took the Mega Chandelure. You can see the rapid printing. They keep having these like print lines through the packaging. Part of like finding a one that looks good for the binder, finding one that doesn't have that. But it's honestly pretty tough because most of them do. From the roller or whatever. Alright, Charcadet, Goldeens, Primate, Pikafect, Evil, Lampet, Sinistra. Okay, 2 chances for hits here. That's a reverse Bronzor, a reverse Fossil Quarry, and a hollow rare Silvoe. No fire to finish it out. We got the ultra rare, but probably one of the less good ones with the Dark Bell. Let's just go through and see everything we've got here. Still fun booster box to open. So this is roughly in reverse order, but we had the Mega Zeraora. Looks solid. We have the Morpeko EX. if this had like the texture, it probably would be my favorite. I just like the awkward intensity that he has with his little kick. But the start pattern takes away from it a bit. Mega Slowbro, probably my least favorite of the Mega ones. I do like Slowbro, but this Mega is just not working for me. Mega Chandelure is what I would say is my favorite. It being like mostly symmetrical with the flames coming out, kind of like that. Mega Delphox, its staff, not bad looking. I guess the staff kind of goes with the green. We have the Wailord, pretty dang ugly. Nice 5 water energy attack there. Not particularly useful. And then we have the Rampardos, another solid Pokemon. Just like a middle of the road double rare, I'd say. Alright, even though ultra rares are rarer, I'd say they're less interesting than IRs. So we've got the Dark Bell. That was the last kind of major hit we pulled. Looks fine. Classic, like, pretty boring 3D rendery trainer card. Glydian's Final Battle, a little more interesting, it being a person. Not bad. I'm staring you down. We have the Mega Chandelure EX, which is my favorite of the ultra rares for sure. I think he looks solid. Chandelure is already like kind of a busy looking Pokemon because he has so many limbs, all the Chandelure bits. So it being a busy card, I think actually works for him pretty nicely. And, you know, the color patterns and everything, the purples, pinks, and blues in the back, they look good. Happy with that one. And then our first hit was this Wailord. Pretty basic. Again, just like the double rare, pretty basic. Okay, then we have the IR stack here. We'll start with my favorite, which is the Manectric. Action pose, lightning bolts going on. Lots of blues and yellows. I like that. I think he looks good. Primarina, also a solid looking card. I'd say like the face looks underdrawn. I don't really like. Feels like there's a lot of detail in the waves and water pattern there, and then the face is like kind of goofy looking, but still a solid card. Definitely like the setting. The Delmies, I'm kind of like hit or miss on. It's kind of dark. Just the sneaky, cool looking Delmies cards. I haven't decided if I like this one or not. It being a bunch of Pokemon in the background is cool. Oftentimes I do like the dark, like underwater style cards. There's a Golisopod card that I like quite a bit from early Scarlet and Violet. That's similar to this, but I just think it looks better because these Golisopods are a lot more ominous than Delmies. I'm not sure if this one's working for me yet, but I'll think about it. And then our first IR pull was this Fomantis. Pretty standard. I feel like there's always 1 or 2 of these kind of cards in a set. Just get the grassy field, cutesy style Pokemon. This one's nice, like the flower details are nice, so pretty happy with that. All right, there we have it. That is my full pitch black booster box opening. Did not have the luck that I've had in the past little while, which is a little disappointing. Pretty standard opening, I'd say. So I would definitely recommend keeping an eye on if you can get sealed product for reasonable prices early going, and then just being patient and buying singles. I'm going to take a look at what other cards are in this set right after this. It's kind of nice and I didn't worry about pricing or anything, but I'm expecting the Darkrai card that I've seen and the gold Darkrai to be the most expensive, and a lot of these SIRs and stuff to be cheaper. But I'll know once I take a look at those cards. Thanks for sticking around for that opening, and I'll see you next time.